Hello there, and welcome to today's songwriting edition of Rooster Reports. I'm at home in my Rachiotin roost in Bangkok, sweltering like hell, and looking forward to going out and braving the water wars to get some milk at Big C. Yes, my life is one social whirl. The family are away in Le province, so I've pretty much left to my own devices. Today I'm going to be talking about people who are successful in Thailand, about people who have made money, and about the extraordinary envy and hate shown towards people who are successful in this country on forums like Thai Visa, oops, ASEAN Now, and its Facebook arm. There really is so much hatred out there, and I wonder where it all comes from. I noticed over about 7 years of writing a column under the name Rooster that people absolutely hated it when I talked about my own success. Um, have I been successful in Thailand? I don't know. I'd probably leave that up to others. But I'm proud of some things that I've achieved. I managed to retire reasonably early. I mean, I only do this job really to keep myself busy and from going completely around the bend. Um, I learnt the Thai language pretty well. Ended up teaching it. Married twice. Still friends with both my wives. Raised four lovely children. Represented Thailand in international gaming. And generally speaking, I've had a great life. And my message really to people is that you can still be very successful in Thailand uh, in these days. It's often put to me that you had it lucky. You came to Thailand in the 1980s. There wasn't much regulation. You could do as you please. Blah 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 blah. But in those days there wasn't any internet, and you've got that today, and that's a fantastic chance to make revenue for anybody these days. I really do think that Thailand still remains a land where people can make a good living and make a success of themselves. So I would say to young and old, come over to Thailand and find your niche. Do what you can to enjoy your life here in this country. It's a country I have a great deal of regard for, a great deal of love, but more about that later. Today I was asked by my editor to translate a story about a guy called My Mate Nate. There it is. I actually went to visit him in July, and again, more about that later. My Mate Nate is a 30-year-old guy called Nate Bartlin, who comes from Utah. Um, Nate first came to Thailand about, I don't know, 10 years ago, and did some travel blogging and did some teaching. He was a Mormon, so he was here doing some teaching in regards to that. But after a while, he gravitated into running his own YouTube channel. It's been incredibly successful. It's followed by about I don't know 20 million Thais, and he makes about 5 million baht a month. Today's story was about how he's genuinely in love with a girl called Ava, who's actually a former student of mine at an international school. So they're genuinely in love. They've got loads of money. They're very successful. Cue the comments on the forum, which really show the envy and the hate towards anyone who's achieved success in Thailand. he was called a novelty Falang who makes 5 million baht a month. Yeah, novelty. He was referred, his work was referred to as utter tripe. Well, guys, it might not be your kind of fun thing. He does sort of stunts online and particularly appeals to children and young people. It might not be your kind of thing, but he's found his niche, yeah, and he's doing rather well. Others just sort of said dismissively, "Never heard of him. Must be a complete numpty." Another person called them privileged kids. Well, I admit that Ava comes from a line of very, very wealthy ties, but Nate doesn't. He came to Thailand pretty much with nothing, and has worked his way up to be a multi-dollar millionaire. So, is that a success? Well, it's not bad, is it? Others just slagged off Ava for her looks. The envy. It's absolutely pathetic. There's so much toxicity on this forum and on the Facebook arm. I find it ghastly. I think a lot of it is down to the fact that 40% of the clientele are in fact British. The British, and I'm British myself, they generally speaking hate people who make money. It's kind of like the complete opposite of the American dream. They kind of see getting above your station as they say, as some kind of something that's kind of criminal. They see people who've made money as like nouveau riche and not deserving. In fact, some of them prefer the aristocracy and people who've been born with a silver spoon in their mouth. That kind of has a legitimacy for some of these people. As I say, a lot of the people online are British, and they really do hate success, and you can see it in all walks of their life. Anyway, as far as my mate Nate goes, I did a lot of pretty negative stories for him over the years. There was an occasion when he did a stunt when he took the mickey out of some Thai students for their poor English. That was a bit naff, as we call it. There was an occasion when he got into severe hot water after he put coins on the railway line to flatten them. Although I might add that they were foreign coins, if you know what I'm getting at. These were not great successes, and as was a fight that he filmed between a scorpion and a cat that got quite a few animal lovers upset. So last July I thought, well, I'll go and see my mate Nate, or Nate Bartling, with an open mind and see what I think of him. And I was first of all taken a little bit aback because I didn't realise he'd been a missionary, and the reason for being taken aback was the fact that I'm a devout atheist, and anybody who goes around trying to teach people about this God character, immediately gets my hackles up, even though I, generally speaking, don't sort of say very much. But it soon was revealed to me that Nate was in fact a really, really nice bloke, and so was his very humble girlfriend Ava, despite all the billions in her family. I'm the sort of guy who I have a great deal of respect for people who've learnt the language, because that was my background in Thailand. I also have respect for people who show respect to Thai culture and Thai people, and who understand the country. That's kind of like what I think about success. I also judge people not on how much money they have, which really isn't a big deal for me, but on the respect they show for me and my family. When I was going to see Nate, I didn't think for 1 minute that he wouldn't show respect for me, even though my column only had about 8,000 readers. It's a drop in the ocean for him, and not really sure why he was meeting me, although he was hoping that I would help him get a foot in the door for a video he wanted to make at an international school. But anyway, I expected him to be nice to me. But my yardstick about whether they were decent people or not was whether they would show respect to my wife, and they did big time, both of them, and not when I was looking either. And this was reported to me later by Nate. By my wife herself. You know, he came to Thailand with very, very little, and now he's got a great deal. And this really, really winds up so many people. But why should it? Why should people be so put off by others who've achieved success in Thailand? I'm not quite sure why that is. Amongst my own friends, I've got all sorts of people. Mostly they've been successful in Thailand. I had a couple of friends who started one of Thailand's biggest employment agencies. They went on to become multi-millionaires due to their business, which they ran very, very well. Most of my other friends have been involved in teaching, as I was, although at the upper end, so getting sort of mega salaries at international schools. And most of them have learnt Thai and raised families, all things that really get lots of respect points from me. I think that moving forward, anybody who's listening to this should think, what can you achieve in Thailand? And I'd say go for it, because there's still a lot of opportunity available here. And I would also say, just try and ignore the people online who are so negative. Ignore the people you meet in your life who've got opinions about Thailand that don't gel with your own. I mean, just do your own thing. Thailand is just waiting for you, and you can be successful, whether you consider someone like Nate a success. It's up to you, I suppose. I do, because of the things I've outlined before. I think you can achieve things in Thailand. I think you can achieve them in 2023 as you could in 1983. So go for it, and ignore all the people who are so negative. Cheers, and see you tomorrow.